free racing pigeon tips and lots of info. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, look at the links and email below. Eyesign No 1, wow! What a monster of a class act breeding eye. Pupil, it gives us the impression of being distorted or misshapen, but this is due to the amount of cut-ins plus the odd cluster here and there within this pupil, both being top breeding traits, a well above average content within. Pointing us towards breeding. Color circle, a totally mind-blowing ultra-wide green. Being both very wide and heavy with striking depth of pigmentation, this is the type of eye makeup that we must try obtain in pigeons deemed for the stock loft. This one is the color circle at its very best. Adaption circle, what? Yes, there is plenty in there if we look for it. It appears as light wispy gray lines and shapes all over the place in this circle, adding to the character we already see within the color circle. We then see these signs sitting in there also, telling us again breeder iris. This one is a dark red, well granulated, and just look to those mountain ranges and valleys. This shows us that this bird belongs to a strong die-hard long distance close-knit family of racing pigeons. This one just happens to be one of the producers. Outer circle, this circle is hard to evaluate due to this photo shot. Eyesign No 2, well here we have a right old shocker, racing yellow. Pupil, and again this one also comes across egg-shaped, and just as the previous one, this is due to cut-ins all around the outside perimeter of this pupil, which is itself jet black and showing plenty of clusters in there. Color circle, another very wide color circle we have here, this time in a full yellow with very rich pigmentation, both thick and bold, well defined, could be likened to a fireball. A very attractive and valuable circle of eyesign is this one, that of a crack racing pigeon that would produce the goods also when coupled up with a complementary eyesign that shouldn't be over strong. Adaption circle, as we should expect with this type of racing eye, the adaption is most prominent down in the racing segment, between 3 and 7 o'clock. See the composition here at its strongest, but the thin gray wispy lines of light composition flow all around in this sign. If you look for them, I would deem the breeding side secondary in this particular sign. Iris, and what a truly brilliant pillarbox red racing iris we see here. Premiership League with not a trace of weakness in these racing signs. This eye belongs to a racing champion. Outer circle, here we have a composite gold outer circle, maybe not the most prominent I've ever seen, but there's enough for racing purpose, that's for sure. The full picture, full strength racing eyesign. Eyesign No 3, so straight into another top class breeder eyesign. Pupil, are you getting to grips with these oval shaped pupils yet? Because here we have another one packed with breeding signs, and there's so many that it just has to look odd shaped. There's so many cut-ins all around its perimeter and overspill from the adaption circle, and then all those composite clusters all over the place. They appear as a ring of gray colored dots over the pupil surface, very special. Color circle, a composite yellow this time. Now look back quickly at I No 2, another yellow, but they are nothing alike, are they? This is down to the amount of composition going on in here. It makes the yellow in this circle look dirty because of that gray wash all over it. And believe it or not, but some judges mistake this color for the green. This circle is very wide, plenty of it, and marries up well the eye complete. This can be seen around 11 o'clock, which shows us the full eye of the breeder. Adaption circle, big, bold, and beautiful. Very well serrated with a full circle which encases the pupil as well, again packed with inner rings, another top breeding sign. Iris, a dark red iris is this one with a good amount of granulation contained within. Now look towards 8 o'clock to see it hit and run through the adaption circle. You don't see this too often. This is another gem of a circle coming complete with all the definition and character of a top drawer breeder. Outer circle, not the widest of outer circles is this one, but it is present. This is the eyesign of a world-class producer. Eyesign No 1, Eyesign No 2, Eyesign No 3. Eyesign number 4, now here we do see the family connection. So let's now just see how much alike is this one in comparison to the first 3 eyes. Pupil, as expected within this family, we see a pupil giving us that oval appearance again, and lots of cut-ins all around the outer edge of this pupil, with no surprise either that clusters are evident in here. Look particularly towards the bottom segment of this pupil, some ace breeding signs we see here. Color circle, another yellow, but not rate or run out as far as the previous color circles we have looked at, but in its favor this circle does at certain points run right through all else and marries up all 5 circles of eyesign, which is more evident towards the bottom of this circle. Adaption circle, this comes as a 2-shaded composite, and see that super racing segment, big, bold, dark, and very well serrated, especially between 4 and 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock and beyond it does lighten up to a light gray shade of composition, and in doing so allows us to see those inner rings, which are a much needed breeding sign. This one we class as a dual-purpose racer/breeder eyesign. It will do both very well, but this one does exceed in racing. Iris, and yet again the similarities or family traits showing through in this dark, red iris. As with the rest of the family, we can see a good depth of granulation showing through with 1 or 2 ridges sitting about, a good depth of color and quite a bit going on in here, making this iris rather interesting. Outer circle, we can see very clearly here with this one a good composite yellow outer circle, coming into the eye very well and is masked by the composition, which once again is showing us breeding capabilities. And although I am repeating myself here, this one is a complete package. It does both. But it is a super racer. Eye sign number 5, what a family of eyes. Pupil, a fact. They don't come much better than this one for breeding, and once again full of cut-ins with plenty of clusters. Just look at the outside edge of this pupil, particularly around the bottom segment. This is breeding sign and excellence. Color circle, yellow once again here, but very wide, bold, and an excellent degree of pigmentation. See the character where the adaptation color and iris all connect. At its best towards the front of this eye, this is the most striking color circle out of these 6 eyes. Adaptation circle, totally brilliant are the only words with which to describe this one. Coming wide, well serrated and of the dark gray, rings, and once again I would judge this one as the best adaptation circle of this feature. And make no mistake, this one is another top drawer stock pigeon which is responsible for no end of big winners. Iris, we have got there in the end. Another dark, red iris, and just like the rest of this featured family, plenty of depth and character, but just look at those masses of deep valleys and mountain ranges which go right out into the extremities. Outer circle, so far I've found top signs in each circle contain this one for me as the ultimate breeding eye, with so much going on in there. Outer circle, a shame, this photo angle does show this circle. Eye sign number 6, monster of a full dark circle. It shows the durability of this family and ties up all the other eyes. You can see some of this one in each photograph if you look carefully, so let's get on with it. Pupil, jet, black looking oval shaped. It's hard defining the signs contained here for you because look what sat right alongside it. Yes, that massive full black, but with careful study you can see that just like the rest it does contain the cut-ins and clusters. They are difficult to see because they are composite, but they are there. Color circle, a nice wide yellow, although we can't see that much of it. The reason being is because it's masked by that huge adaptation circle hovering over it. Anyway, that what can be seen is good in depth and granulation knitting well into it and running right through the iris at a couple of points, C11, 12, and 3 o'clock. Adaptation circle, that big black circle. However, this full black is exceptionally wide and well serrated, being pumped full of inner rings. I must admit this circle is very impressive looking, but there are better signs featured here. Real eye sign, iris, a dark red once again with plenty of granulation contained at first, but goes rather flat as it moves out towards the outer circle. Outer circle, nice and wide as outer circles go and very darkly serrated, matching up with to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use, it's affordable, I have had over 400 first prize winners, it's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products, it's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well, or an athlete will not win a race, if he has low oxygen in his blood. The above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing equipment.